What's going on, boys and girls? Hope you're enjoying the day. It's 18, 19 degrees out today. Weather's looking really, really good. So I hope you guys are out and about, getting some exercise, and still trying to look after your health and your wealth at the same time. So let's move on to some Arsenal chat. Not a lot going on. International bye week. Some of you don't even like international football, so you've taken a well-earned break. And then some of you are just loving any kind of football that comes on television. So regardless of how the international game is, you're still enjoying it. And fair play to everybody who's like that. But Bukayo Saka now, there's news about his salary. They're talking about now in negotiations is underway. So that's a really good sign. It's good to know that his camp, who is known to be quite difficult, is at the table talking to Arsenal. Arsenal really is just telling them, what their thoughts are and what their directions is and what they really want out of it. So it's good that the communications have opened up between both parties, and now we really got to see what Saka's side want, because all of these things is three ways, man. It's Saka, it's Arsenal, and then it's the agent. And if all three are in unison, then fine, great, then we've got a deal happening. But there's always that to factor in. But Arsenal have made it well known on their side that they want to keep their guy. They want to make him happy. They're probably going to have to triple or quadruple his salary, which isn't going to be a problem for them because he's on peanuts at the moment. But it does mean that at least this thing is moving forward. And I like that because normally everyone always says, yeah, let's leave it to the summer. Let's leave it to the summer. And when you sleep on these things, they just don't get done. So it's good to see some level of proactiveness from Arsenal. And long may it continue. And I know that they'll have to talk to Martinelli soon. They just want to get all of their guys signed up for multi-year deals, 4 years, fifth-year options and things like that. And then they'll be set. So I wouldn't really worry about it at this point. But some more news is Tom Ashton's been having fun in the forums, not just for this week, but for quite a while he's been saying that Mesut Odin's son, Odegaard, has been nudging on Haaland, and Erling Haaland has come up to him in regards to some advice about which team he should go and play with. So I know everyone's getting excited because Odegaard, who's been a revelation at Arsenal, and he was, funny enough, and I do talk about last season when he was on loan and how much of an impact he made in the team, and they had the second best record in the latter part of the year with him and Smith Rowe in the team. Huge. The second most points. That's huge. That's not anything small to be taken lightly. And that's why I've always been on record saying to Arsenal fans, the guy's a revolution. You could see it from day one. And this time last year, he won Player of the Month award for March 2001. So it really is all relative, isn't it? But I just hope that Tom gets his wish and Odegaard is still nudging Haaland to say, look, why don't you come and look at Arsenal? They can pay you. They'll sort out a transfer fee. And we need a striker. We need a top man. And this is the thing, this is what's key to it all, because many other teams either have a striker already or don't need one. If we're looking at the way that Man City uses Jesus and they have a false nine, and we look at the way Liverpool use Firmino, and it's really the front three that's attacking and not just the one main striker. You look at Chelsea, who won the Champions League without a striker. They went and bought Lukaku. They don't even need him. So a lot of the top teams, guys, don't actually need strikers. And where that puts a guy like Haaland is anybody's question. So I think Arsenal would be a good fit because Lacazette is out of contract. They need someone to fit in there. They went big on Vlahovic. It didn't work out. So if I'm the player, I'm looking at, look, boy, if I go to Man City, if I go to obviously Man United might be looking at the striker, I don't know, but nobody knows what Ronaldo's going to do. Cavalli's probably going to let go because he's on a year deal. So nobody really knows. And then they got Marcus Rashford. They got all these other options. So the point is that Arsenal have none. Arsenal don't really have any options. So if you go to Arsenal, you're playing in the capital, London. You're going to be point and center of the team as the main striker with really no competition. You're going to get paid well. Fees going to be covered. So all of these things, like the moons are aligning. So I think that that's what Martin Odegaard should say before he starts talking about Bayern Munich. Again, you wouldn't fit into Bayern Munich, would you, because of Lewandowski and all them guys? Real Madrid, Barcelona, now got Aubameyang. So where would you actually go? Where would you go to play? That's probably why Haaland's putting it out there to see what Odegaard would say, to see if he can go and have a word with Edu and speak to Arteta and say, look, guys, I might be interested in coming to your club and playing in the national capital. I might be. But if I would be, let's say if I would be, what would be in it for me? So it's nice that all of that's going on. It's a little bit of banter, I know, but it's nice that that's going on because, hey, man's got to make a very, very, very big decision that's going to affect him for most of his playing career. There's another person like that as well, William Saliba. Now, William Saliba has come out and made some statements about he's happy where he is and he loves the country. Obviously, that's where he's from. Loves the city, loves his teammates, and wants to get them in the Champions League and all of this stuff. And he's been called up to the French national side. So none of this was Arsenal's doing. Arsenal has played no part in him excelling to the point where he is this season. So he can obviously see this. I know he's got 2 years left on his deal to run, and if you let the contract run again for another year, then you're in trouble because you've got 1 year left. His market value is deteriorated. You're going to get nothing for him. So Arsenal are going to either do two things this summer. They're either going to bring him back and try and let him fight for his position, which for me would be a step back. And I don't care what you lot are saying about the Premier League. This is a personal opinion from a player's perspective who's very young in the game. What he can see is, if I stay where I am in France, I'm enjoying the country, I'm enjoying where I'm playing, I've made a lot of friends, and I'm feeling good, and I've made it into the French national. Those are all wins. No matter which way you look at it, it's a win, 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 win in every scenario. But with Arsenal, if he goes back to Arsenal, guess what? You're not even starting because they've got two bookends already starting in Gabriel and Ben White. So you ain't even going to play. Secondly, if you're not playing, how are you going to get into the French national team? That's number two. Number three, say if you actually don't like England, you've had a piece of it, you've had a sample of it, it's not for everybody. We know that there's people like Torreira, Antonio Reyes, Denelson, the list is long. Not everybody likes London. Not everybody likes the change of scenery. It's not for everybody. It might be for 80, 90% of the players, but for everybody, no. You can't paint everybody with the same brush, guys. And when you've got a situation where when he lost his mum and all those mental issues he was going through and he needs to be close to home, France has been good for Saliba. It's been good for him. But we have yet to see what the outcome is going to be because I've gone on record and said he may never, ever play for Arsenal at all. Like, this is a possibility, a strong possibility that he may never even play for us. So if that's the case, get back the money that you paid for him and use it on somebody else. Don't play this game because the player seems to be, there's no confirmation, but by his comments, it seems to be him saying that I'm happy where I am. The agent obviously was the one that sat down with Edu in the summer and requested that the player wanted to go to Marseille in the first place. So they wanted out of the UK. They wanted to be gone. So by all accounts, while there's nothing set in stone, the player seems like he's happy and he doesn't really want to come back. I'm just putting it out there. Whether he does or whether he doesn't, that's down to everybody's personal opinion. But I'm saying, based on what I've seen and what I know and what's happening right now, I wouldn't think that because he would lose his starting spot, which means he'd have to start from the bottom and working his way right back at the top again. And do you really think, guys, hand on heart, that he's going to surpass Ben White or Gabriel? Some of you might say yeah. A lot of you will probably say no. And if that's the case, then why would he come back? Because you'd be coming back to essentially just sit in a position where you was 2 years ago, and you'd be taking a step back in your career. And it's got nothing to do with the French league or anything like that. It's about him playing every single game and being noticed by the French national team and having a chance to play in the Champions League and playing at an international level in the World Cup. That's what it all means. So personal opinions aside, the player is thinking about his future, and I think that's really important. So guys, I put a poll out there for the March Arsenal Player of the Month. Please put your ticks down and let me know who you guys are going to vote in, and then we'll cover it in the next video. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Speak to you guys later, and if you're into international football, just enjoy it. If you're not, enjoy the weather anyway, and I'll speak to you guys later. Peace out.